All right, so yesterday we all had a spirited discussion about the golden at bat, I guess it's called, golden at bat rule, where, Rob Manfred essentially just floated it. It didn't even say that it was going to happen, but floated the idea of having a guy be able to come up in the ninth inning and in the biggest moment and bat in that ninth inning, even if he's not due to bat. And I came on, and I just saw on social media everybody like ripping Manfred. How could you think of this? Well, like he's the Antichrist. And all I said was the guy's marching orders are to try to improve the game, improve the revenue stream of the game. He works for the 30 owners that even if it's a bad idea, and it's not an idea that I embrace, what's the big deal if he threw it out there? And the funny part is, our social media department put it out there, and people, I don't even get upset with it. It's kind of humorous at this point. People can't comprehend words anymore. I mean, there are people on social media that are saying, how could Kay support this? Kay doesn't support it. You must have wax in your ears. I said I support the guy trying to make changes. You can't look at baseball as church. There's something that's up that has lost so many people over the last 25 years. So, because I love the game the way it is, I don't think it needs changes at all. I hate the Manfred man. Hate it. I think it's the stupidest rule ever implemented. And then the things that people say, Peter, it's so humorous. Of course I'm supporting Manfred. He's my boss. He's not my boss. He's not even remotely removed from being my boss. He has no say whatsoever on the job that I have. Zero. There's things that I ripped him about. I hate the extra runner in the second inning or in the extra inning. So how am I sucking up to him if I hate one of the rules that he implemented? That's one thing. Another thing, all these people, I'm irrelevant. His ratings are tanking. Again, for all you dunces out there, we don't get rated. You don't know what you're talking about. We don't pay Arbitron to be rated anymore. So you wouldn't know what the rating is, you clowns. And then the ones that say I'm irrelevant, Peter, this is what really gets me. Irrelevant, okay. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a moron. Then you check their bio and they follow me. So if you follow a moron, I guess the Pythagorean theorem says you're a bigger moron. The only one on the show who said that he liked the rule was Peter. And I wouldn't jump Peter for liking it. He loves it. Our program director, John Winthrop, loves it. I actually came up with, I think, a good compromise. I hate, as I said, the Manfred man. Hate it. It's a carnival act. If you want to have a golden at bat, put in the 10th inning to replace the Manfred man. Wouldn't that be preferable?
And maybe that's what comes of this.
Maybe it is, and maybe it never happens. Maybe it only happens in the All-Star game, which is an exhibition game. But at no point did I say that I support this. I did tell Peter at the end of the show, if it happened, I wouldn't go absolutely nuts, but I don't think it's a great idea because you are dealing with the sport and the true essence of the sport. I get all of that. Lineup management is important. That's why they spend, reams of computer data to come up with the perfect lineup. But to put me in a situation where, X is the new media. Well, you're all a bunch of liars. Oh, how could he support it? What kind of idiot would I didn't support it. I support Rob Manfred trying whatever he wants to try, or at least putting ideas out there. Is that so wrong?
Well, there's a bunch of things at play. All right, number one, if you're so irrelevant, then why do they worry about what you had to say about it?
Right.
So obviously you're very relevant. And I told you what people were going to say because they look at you as the protector of baseball. They're offended that baseball is being changed, and they were hoping that you would support them. You didn't, so they're jumping you. And the other thing that makes it very difficult for any change in baseball is that I don't think many fans have respect for Rob. So any idea that comes from him is going to be shot down. So I think that's all the things that are in play here. I don't like it, but would I maybe like Danny in Long Island yesterday? I'll never watch baseball again. No, that's silly. I don't like it. There's a lot of things I don't like, a lot of change I don't like, but you roll with the punches. It's not that big of a deal. I happen not to like it. I respect Peter's opinion for liking it. I don't think it's going to move the needle at all. Baseball's got a ton of issues. I don't think this necessarily addresses all of them. But still, to jump you as if you stole something and throw, I saw it on social media. I don't know why people react the way they react. It's
Michael is seen as the baseball guy. So him doing anything but ripping this thing that these people are all so upset and up in arms about, they see it as an affront to them and their, obsessive old school baseballness. So it's silly. I'd rather have an argument about what makes it bad. That's what I'd rather hear about than, we know what makes Twitter trolls. I'm not going to get into, whether or not they actually listen, or that's honestly, it's all a waste of time. The question is, what are they actually talking about? What are they so upset about? Let's get into it. It's a matter of taste.
It comes down to tradition. Baseball is a sport of all the four major sports. It's steeped totally in tradition. And if you move a little bit away from tradition, then you're the bad guy. And I think it's funny, Peter, because I'm caught between the rock and the hard place. Because when I support tradition, then I'm the old man on the lawn, right? And then when I say, well, you know what, maybe think outside the box, then I also am the Antichrist. So you can't win. And it is the cesspool that is Twitter. Yeah. I used to get upset by it, but I think it's fun. But the funniest line today, because I said, it's funny, all these people that are in, the basement of their home, with Twitter muscles, saying all these things, they do follow me. And one of the guys answered back, I actually felt sorry for him. I got a wife, and I got kids, and I'm sitting here sipping a martini on the first floor of my house watching my 70-inch TV. And then he said some expletive about me. 70 inches? Really? You have a 70-inch TV? That's impressive.
Well, sounds like he's overcompensating.
But Michael, you're just can I tell you the truth? You're the exact same as him.
Oh, I'm a troll too.
No, but listen to you. You're responding in as ridiculous a way. He's actually taking it literal, and so are you. I mean, the whole thing is... It's absurd. It's and I get caught up in it too. But not over this. This is call up. Let's argue it, Don.
But Peter, you
and I disagree on it.
PC Richard and Son has these special 70-inch TVs because I'd like to get one.
No. Listen, I have heard the only way that you can get a 70-inch TV at this stage.
How?
Well, you have to be a proven success in life.
Oh.
If you are a proven success in life, you can get the TV. If not, no, you're ass out. So, but I'd like to have the argument. I disagree with Don. Of course, Don and I can't have a moronic argument because we both believe in this weird thing called nuance. He's not in love with the idea, doesn't think it's great. I think it's really cool, would enhance the game. But why people get personally offended? No one can tell me where the line is that a rule change fundamentally changes a sport. You can't tell me. You can't say that this one is quintessentially problematic and another one is not. You know why? Because it's subjective. It just is.
But there's another aspect, too, about it, and that's where it's coming from. I don't think there's a lot of fans that respect Rob Manfred. He's a businessman. He's not a baseball guy. So they look at these things, and this is like an outsider messing with our game. I think that's part of it, too. You think if there was a former player that came up with this, a respected, like if Ken Griffey Jr., respected player,
what a great point. Another
it would get that reaction. Come on.
Well, I mean, Rob hurts himself sometimes. He's the guy who said that the World Series trophy is a bunch of tin or metals.
Right, and then the handling of the Astros situation, which was related to that, I just think that's a major part of that. If it was somebody that was respected in the game, a former player, people might disagree with it, but I think they have a lot more respect for the opinion.
Well, let's, a guy we respect, I think we all respect very much so, is Mike Lupica. I wonder what his take is on this floated rule. Not that they're going to do it, everybody. Everybody calm down. Never said they were going to do it. There was nuance in what he said if you listen to him. He never said... the funny part, I don't know if you saw this, Peter. He was on 5 years ago on Dan Le Batard's show. And Stu Gotts came up with this change of a rule. And Rob Manfred said, well, now you've lost me. This is the end of the interview. He actually brought it up, Stu Gotts, exactly the way it was presented. So I don't think it's going to happen. Everybody's going nuts for no reason.